Unity of purpose over conflict and discord. We will not apologize for our way of life, nor will we waver in its defense.
Barack Obama's presidency, spanning from 2009 to 2017, marked a transformative period in American history. When he assumed office, the United States faced significant challenges, including the aftermath of the 2008 financial crisis, wars in Iraq and Afghanistan, and a deeply divided nation. Obama, with his charismatic oratory and promise of change, captured the nation's attention and inspired hope for a better future.
This is your victory. Now, I know you didn't do this just to win an election.
One of his earliest accomplishments was the passage of the Affordable Care Act in 2010, a landmark healthcare reform bill that aimed to increase accessibility and affordability for millions of Americans. Welcome to Live Economic News. In this comprehensive documentary, we embark on a journey inside Obama's presidency, unraveling the complex decisions, challenges, and triumphs that defined Barack Obama's time in the Oval Office. If you found this documentary insightful and engaging, don't forget to hit the like and subscribe and turn on notifications. Obama's leadership style emphasized diplomacy and collaboration, seeking bipartisan solutions, though achieving such cooperation proved challenging in the partisan atmosphere of Washington. His second term witnessed increased executive actions, given the gridlock in Congress. Notable examples include the normalization of diplomatic relations with Cuba and the implementation of the Deferred Action for Childhood Arrivals (DACA) program. Ultimately, Barack Obama's presidency left an indelible mark on American history.
Who believe that America is a constant work in progress, who believe that loving this country requires more than singing its praises or avoiding uncomfortable truths.
His legacy is characterized by the pursuit of progressive policies, an emphasis on diplomacy, and symbolic moments of unity, as well as the challenges and divisions that persisted throughout his tenure. In the aftermath of Barack Obama's historic election in 2008, the United States found itself grappling with a cascade of dire challenges. The nation was in the throes of the worst economic downturn since the Great Depression, and fear permeated financial markets. The severity of the situation became apparent the day after Obama's election when he received a stark economic briefing. The credit system was on the verge of a seizure, unemployment was nearly 7% and climbing, and the stock market had plummeted over 6,000 points. The specter of a complete economic meltdown loomed large, making the presidential transition a momentous and challenging period. Amid the economic turmoil, Obama also faced significant foreign policy and political challenges. Wars in Iraq and Afghanistan, the pursuit of al-Qaeda, and the overarching goal of fostering bipartisanship in a deeply divided Washington demanded his attention. The promise to bridge the partisan gap, a cornerstone of his campaign, faced immediate tests as Republicans gathered to strategize on opposing the newly elected president. The inauguration day marked a historic moment as Barack Obama became the first African-American president. However, behind the scenes, a group of Republicans, disheartened by electoral losses, convened to plan a robust opposition strategy. The mood was somber, and the prospect of a prolonged period in the political wilderness loomed large. Nevertheless, as the night progressed, optimism grew, fueled by a determination to offer an alternative vision and oppose Obama on multiple fronts. Obama's initial focus was on steering the nation through the economic crisis, and he proposed a massive $800 billion stimulus package. The challenge was not only economic but also political, as Obama sought bipartisan support for his ambitious plan. The ensuing weeks saw intense debates in Washington over the size and composition of the stimulus package,
and why he was advocating these policies, and then he opened it up for questions.
Reflecting the complex task of navigating the economic challenges that defined the early days of Obama's presidency. In retrospect, the early months of Obama's presidency epitomized a pivotal period in American history, marked by economic turmoil, political polarization, and the formidable task of governing amidst crises on multiple fronts. The decisions made during this time would shape the trajectory of his administration and leave a lasting impact on the nation. In the early days of Barack Obama's presidency, he faced a crucial test that would set the tone for his administration's ability to navigate the challenges ahead. Determined to bring bipartisan solutions to the forefront, Obama embarked on a symbolic gesture to win support from both Democrats and Republicans. His strategy involved proposing tax cuts, a measure traditionally favored by Republicans, in the hope of garnering bipartisan backing for his ambitious economic stimulus package. In an unprecedented move, President Obama ventured to Capitol Hill to meet exclusively with the Republican caucus, demonstrating a commitment to reaching across party lines. However, the reception was less than favorable, as Republicans, already having held a meeting prior to his arrival, had decided to oppose the stimulus package unanimously. This unexpected resistance marked a setback for Obama's efforts to foster cooperation and unity. The ensuing press conference revealed the partisan divide, with Obama defending his proposal amidst criticism from Republicans. The lack of bipartisan support became evident when the stimulus bill passed in the House without a single Republican vote. This marked a turning point in Obama's early presidency, highlighting the challenges of overcoming political polarization and the difficulty of achieving bipartisan consensus on critical issues. As Obama faced resistance on the economic front, another crisis emerged, with Wall Street bonuses reaching a staggering $18.4 billion. This fueled public outrage and tested Obama's resolve to hold banks accountable for their actions. His response was marked by a rare display of anger in the Oval Office, reflecting his commitment to ensuring that the American people were not taken advantage of by powerful financial institutions. In these early months, Obama learned valuable lessons about the complexities of governing, the limitations of bipartisanship, and the need to confront powerful interests on behalf of the American people. The challenges he faced in the economic stimulus debate and the struggle against excessive Wall Street bonuses provided critical insights into the intricate dynamics of political power and the inherent difficulties of achieving transformative change in Washington. Amidst the economic turmoil of the financial crisis, President Barack Obama found himself facing a critical decision regarding the fate of Wall Street banks. Larry Summers, both a senior political aide and the White House economic advisor, advocated for bold action, even suggesting the idea of seizing a troubled bank. The proposal aimed to send a clear message to the financial sector that reckless behavior would not be tolerated and failure would lead to nationalization or closure. However, a deep divide emerged within the president's economic advisors, with Treasury Secretary Timothy Geithner urging caution. Geithner's concerns centered around the potential risks associated with aggressive government intervention, fearing it could deter private investors and disrupt the delicate balance of the financial system. The president found himself at a crossroads, torn between bold action and measured support for the struggling banks. To address the growing public outrage and demand accountability from the nation's banking leaders, President Obama summoned the top bankers to the White House. The meeting was characterized by tension and uncertainty, with the bankers anticipating a stern rebuke from the president. As they entered the room, the gravity of the situation weighed heavily on them, recognizing the potential consequences of the decisions to be made. The meeting took an unexpected turn when Obama, despite initial indications of confrontation, shifted his approach. He acknowledged the public relations and political disasters unfolding and expressed a willingness to assist the bankers in resolving the crisis. The president's pragmatism prevailed, opting for a cautious and pragmatic approach to navigate the challenges rather than confronting the bankers head-on. In the aftermath of the meeting, it became evident that the president had chosen to delay comprehensive Wall Street reform. Instead, he focused on a more pragmatic and measured strategy to navigate the economic challenges, emphasizing stability over confrontation. This decision, while criticized by some as an opportunity lost, reflected Obama's perception of himself as a pragmatist, prioritizing a steady and certain course of action over immediate and potentially disruptive reforms. The meeting with the bankers stirred controversy, especially among liberal supporters who criticized the lack of firm conditions on the massive financial assistance provided to the banks. With over $180 billion already injected into the banking sector with minimal strings attached, questions arose about the fairness of the bailout and the absence of conditions for the financial institutions. This decision, driven by a desire to maintain calm and business as usual, marked a pivotal moment in Obama's early presidency.
At this defining moment, change has come to America.
And set the tone for his approach to navigating the complex challenges of the financial crisis. As the bankers departed from the White House, President Obama shifted his focus beyond merely preventing a second Great Depression. driven by a desire for a positive and transformative agenda. He set his sights on comprehensive healthcare reform, an ambitious endeavor that would become a defining feature of his presidency. Despite the inherent challenges and political risks, Obama sought to address a long-standing issue that had eluded resolution for decades. The White House found itself embroiled in internal debates over the feasibility and potential consequences of pursuing health care reform. Vice President Biden, among others, expressed reservations about the political implications of such a bold move. Obama, however, was undeterred, recognizing the historical significance of the issue and the urgency of taking action. He acknowledged the political complexities but emphasized that the time for decisive action was now, refusing to shelve the opportunity for progress merely for political expediency. In a bid to demonstrate bipartisanship, Obama convened a diverse group of stakeholders, including lawmakers, interest groups, cabinet officials, and members of Congress. The goal was to create a coalition that could collaboratively tackle the complex challenge of health care reform. The president aimed for a bipartisan consensus, seeking input from all sides of the debate to forge a comprehensive solution. Despite the initial optimism and the assembling of a fragile coalition, the healthcare reform process faced hurdles, particularly in the Senate Finance Committee. The once promising timeline for swift legislative progress began to encounter delays and obstacles. Republicans, sensing an opportunity to stall the process, engaged in what was termed the Dance of the Seven Veils, appearing to express interest while maintaining a strategic distance. As the legislative process unfolded, the challenges became more evident. The intricate dance in Congress slowed down progress, and the weight of public opinion began to shift against the health care plan. The summer recess loomed, creating a period of frustration for the White House as momentum stalled, and the goal of having a comprehensive health care bill before Congress headed home for the summer recess seemed increasingly elusive. The narrative reflected a pivotal moment in Obama's presidency, highlighting the formidable challenges of navigating healthcare reform in a polarized political environment. The urgency and ambition clashed with the intricate dance of political maneuvering, creating a complex and uncertain path forward for one of the administration's signature initiatives. The saga underscored the difficulty of achieving transformative change in the realm of healthcare policy, setting the stage for a protracted battle that would continue to unfold in the coming months. By the summer of 2009, a palpable anger had permeated the political landscape, fueled by discontent and radical sentiments. Dissenters expressing extreme views even contemplated violence, exemplified by disturbing statements like "I want to kill my grandparents. You come through me first."
My grandmother, who worked on a bomber assembly line. The two of them shared the optimism of a nation that had triumphed over a depression.
This period marked a turning point in the public's perception of Barack Obama, whose polarizing qualities became more apparent with the rise of the Tea Party and the fervent battles over health care reform. The anger reached a boiling point in August, manifesting in vehement protests and confrontations. The intensity of public resentment startled members of Congress, who found themselves facing a wave of discontent. Health care reform, initially a cornerstone of Obama's agenda, had stalled, bipartisan efforts had collapsed, and the economy still faced challenges. The need for a course correction became evident, prompting Obama to embark on a mission to reinvigorate his presidency. In early September, Obama headed to Wall Street, the epicenter of the financial crisis, to deliver a pivotal address. On the anniversary of the collapse of Lehman Brothers, he sought to persuade the big bankers to support a push for financial reform. However, the titans of Wall Street, those who had been accommodated earlier, notably chose not to attend the speech. This absence, a public snub to the President of the United States, underscored the challenges the administration faced in rallying support from the financial sector. The cautious course adopted by Obama in dealing with the CEOs of the major banks also became apparent. None of the bank CEOs had been fired or held accountable for their role in the financial crisis. The lack of participation from Wall Street in the president's speech signaled a disengagement that left the White House with limited leverage to force the financial sector to the negotiating table. Obama's speech, aimed at denouncing reckless behavior and unchecked excess, failed to resonate with Wall Street, further complicating the prospects of comprehensive financial reform. The disheartening outcome prompted the president to shift his attention back to health care, he summoned a joint session of Congress, recognizing the pivotal moment and the need to take control of the narrative. In facing this critical juncture, Obama understood the gravity of the situation, acknowledging the difficulty of the vote he was asking Congress to make.
America, with your help, God bless you, and God bless the United States of America.
Simultaneously, he sought to emphasize the historic opportunity at hand, underscoring the significance of transformative change in healthcare. This period marked a tumultuous phase in Obama's presidency, with public sentiment, political maneuvering, and internal challenges converging to shape the trajectory of key policy initiatives. In that pivotal speech, President Obama aimed not only to address the public, but also to galvanize the members of Congress assembled in the chamber. He declared that the time for bickering and games had passed, emphasizing that the moment called for decisive action. Seeking to elevate the discourse, Obama urged a collaborative effort, bringing together the best ideas from both parties to demonstrate the government's ability to fulfill its purpose. However, the tone quickly devolved as the president debunked misinformation about the healthcare reform efforts, specifically addressing false claims about coverage for illegal immigrants. Amidst his statement, Republican Representative Joe Wilson from South Carolina notoriously shouted, "You lied." This disruptive outburst symbolized a new low in political decorum, reflecting the heightened tension and opposition surrounding the healthcare debate. The incident crystallized the anger and fervor of the opposition, contributing to a toxic atmosphere in Washington. The disruptive behavior, considered disrespectful by many, raised questions about the decline in civil discourse. As partisan tensions escalated, public dissatisfaction with the healthcare bill grew, creating an increasingly challenging environment for reform. Facing discouragement within his team, Obama confronted a pivotal decision point. His head of legislative affairs, Phyllis Schlafly, expressed skepticism about the bill's prospects, prompting Obama to question their current position. In a moment of resilience, he declared, "Well, of course, I'm feeling lucky now. Get back to work and figure out how to get this passed." This marked a turning point as the president chose to abandon the pursuit of bipartisanship and confront the Republicans directly to advance the healthcare reform. As the bill faced a critical vote in the House, Obama campaigned fervently, urging Democrats not to quit and promising to make history with their support. The House eventually passed the health care bill with 219 votes to 212, a significant victory for the president. However, the absence of any Republican support highlighted the divisive nature of the legislation. The victory came at a high cost as Obama's first year in office, dedicated to healthcare reform, ended with a repudiation from the electorate in the midterm elections of 2010. The Republicans gained control of the House, marking a significant setback for Obama's agenda. The election results underscored the challenges of implementing transformative policies and highlighted the deep political divisions that defined Obama's early presidency. To the White House, and the president says to him, "You know we ought to do something big, something historic." It was a pivotal moment as President Obama, acknowledging the shift in power after the midterm elections, passed the leadership to Speaker John Boehner and the new Republican majority in the House. The sentiment of a new era was captured as the president blessed Speaker Boehner and the 87 new Republican lawmakers, a group characterized by their conservative values and aversion to political compromise. President Obama faced a formidable challenge in navigating this ideologically charged and confrontational caucus. The president, aware that the celebratory days of his election had passed, understood the need to adapt to a more challenging phase of his presidency. The Republicans, particularly the newly elected ones, were vocal critics of the president, making the legislative landscape increasingly difficult to navigate. Recognizing the complexities of dealing with Congress, a common challenge for American presidents, Obama found solace in his ability to act independently in foreign policy matters. Early on, he set a timetable for withdrawing troops from Iraq, fulfilling a promise he made during his campaign. Simultaneously, Obama embraced a robust covert war strategy, endorsing and intensifying CIA covert operations, including targeted killings and drone strikes. In the spring of 2011, this covert war achieved a significant victory with the operation that led to the death of Osama bin Laden. The decision to authorize the risky operation demonstrated Obama's leadership and resolve. However, it also revealed a disheartening departure from his Nobel Peace Prize winning image, as he became the first president with a kill list and disappointed civil liberties supporters. Amid these foreign policy victories, Obama faced a dramatic confrontation with the Republicans in Congress over the impending debt ceiling. What are your thoughts and insights after delving into the comprehensive documentary on Inside Obama's Presidency presented by Live Economic News? Share your perspectives in comments below. Thank you for joining us on this exploration of history, policy, and the complexities of leadership. Stay tuned for more thought-provoking content that delves into the intersection of politics and economics. Like, subscribe, and stay informed with Live Economic News.